Okay, so once again, good afternoon, everyone. Now it's 6 p.m. and today I'm going to explain on about discuss about our previous writing assignment alphabetically. There are 5 of you who submitted your work, so I'm going to start sharing my screen. Okay, give me a moment. Okay, so this is the first writing assignment. And so I actually did the revision already, and I'm going to probably revise it along the way, um, along with the explanation. And if I talk too fast, please let me know, and I'll try to slow it down a bit. Okay, so the first one. So like the usual, like the previous classes, I'm going to explain it line by line. So during school breaks, I find joy in pursuing hobbies and spending quality time with my family. Okay, so in terms of grammar, this is already correct, which is the one I use in the revision. And so it's like this. Why should we add a comma right here? Because during school breaks, that would be a dependent clause. And if a dependent clause being combined with the independent clause, dependent plus independent, you should add a comma to it. Hmm. Okay, hold on a second. I think I need to change the assignment for a while. So I'm gonna switch for a while. So give me a moment to switch. Okay, so this is the first assignment that I received. Okay, so this writing right here. It's kind of like um how do we I mean it's like kind of like the grammar that we use when we are doing a speech instead of writing assignment. So this is where I do the revision. So there's like a good afternoon, something like you do when you're giving out a speech or you're talking to someone directly through text probably or something. But since this is a writing assignment, we need to make it a little bit more formal. So I'm just changing the first um I did the revision for the first line. Today I want to discuss how do you spend your school time off. Okay, well, Monday to Friday, help my mother watch television, play on my cell phone in the afternoon. I attend classes at the S after finishing my classes, have dinner, play the cell phone for a while. Okay, so the first thing that I think you should have advice in this paragraph right here is that first I did some revision, this part right here. Instead of the greeting like this, as if you are giving a speech or a presentation to the whole class, I kind of changed that to for today's writing assignment. So I add a comma right here because dependent plus independent clause, it will become it will form something like this. Dependent clause, comma, and independent. So this is the original form. So that's when we should use a comma right here because this is dependent and this is the independent. And I'm just going to and I also think that we should not put too much comma in a whole sentence. It makes this sentence really long. So we should cut it more short. Since from here, how to spend time off, we have the comma and then another comma until right here, the sleep there we have a full stop. It's really long, so I kind of divide the sentences into smaller parts. For examples like this, I want to talk about how do I spend my school time off. We add a full stop right here, and then we start a new sentence right here. From Monday to Friday, I help my mother. So that's a new sentence. I'm not going to make it as a one sentence with the previous one. So just saying from Monday to Friday, I help my mother. So I'm going to, since this is sort of like something that we do continuously, and since it is something like a daily basis, I think we should just um state it more directly. So I'm saying that my routine starts from Monday to Friday, and then I add the comma right there because we're trying to list the things that you do as a routine. So that's why we should add a comma, and this comma right here, it is used for listing the stuff that we're trying to mention. Okay, so technically the routine actually is divided right here based on what I read right here. So help, watch, and play, and then in the afternoon I attend classes. So basically the routine is divided by two parts. So this is probably the one that you do before afternoon, it's the afternoon. So I think we should just divide that to avoid confusion. So such as playing my mother, watching TV, playing on my phone. So basically this is parallel sentence right here. So actually you did the right thing right here. Watch, play, and then help right here is parallel. They have the same tenses right there. But I did change that such as helping, watching, and playing, just to state that it is something that you do, um, and it's just um a continuation. So that's why I added the ing at the back right there. And now I divided the last part of the sentence. So from one whole lengthy sentence right there to three parts of the sentence right there. So now there are three. So I changed this third one in the afternoon. I had a comma right here because it's dependent. It should be divided by comma. And then we start the independent clause right there. I would send TS classes after class over. At the comma, I play on my phone for a while before going to sleep. So the original sentence right here, why I did the revision, I did not attend classes at TS after finishing my classes, have dinner, play on the. So this is kind of like as if you're talking on and on without stopping. So we should add like a short stop. That's why a comma is necessary. While then sleep. So basically, play on the cell phone for a while, then sleep. So doesn't really have the connecting words right there. So that's why I'm going to connect that this year. So TIS classes instead of saying classes at TIS, because TIS is sort of like a course. So just say TIS classes. Because classes at TIS, it's something like as if TIS is a place, but TIS is an online course, right? So you should just say TIS classes. And after class is over, instead of saying after finishing my classes, because if you're talking about the class that I mean that we attend and they have a specific time, then we should just say the class is over instead of finishing the class. So that sounds more it's almost fluent. That's how I say it with them. Okay. And then next one here, playing the cell phone. So I'm just going to add the subject right there. First over, I play on my phone for a while. It's the same. While then sleeps. Instead of saying just then sleep, I'm just saying before going to sleep or before going to bed. Technically there are synonyms, going to bed, going to sleep, they're the same. But we need to add more like um make this like more formal instead of saying then sleep. It's not count as wrong. We can say that if you're talking to people, but if you're in a writing context, right, this one right here, we should just make it more formal before going to sleep. Okay, sorry. On Sunday, I went to Jakarta for Sunday school and played with friends. Okay, so we're talking about the past right here because what you did on summer when school off. Okay, so on Sunday here, so we should add a comma on Sunday, comma. I went to Jakarta to attend Sunday school and played with my friends. We were going to gym. So actually combine the sentence right here instead of making this two different parts because this other I mean the sentence after this one after that I went to Chibino is really short, so I think it's better to combine the sentence. So on Sunday we had a comma. I went to Jakarta for Sunday school. So instead of saying for Sunday school, I'm just going to make it a little bit long just to make it more specific that Sunday school, you attend Sunday school, right? So it's to attend. So I went to Jakarta to attend Sunday school. So whenever we use this infinitive right here, it is infinitive, right? So to attend right there. So it should be in the first format to attend. Not is this not attended because the first, I mean the verb right here, the past tense is when, not attend. And then and played with my friends were going to Cibinong. So this is the one that I'm talking about. I combine the sentence right there. And yes, this is when and played. Those are the verbs. And yes, they are parallel because we're talking about the past and both of them are past tense. And if you have any questions, just ask me in the chat box. I'm sorry if I'm going too fast. I hope all of you can catch up with what I'm talking about. Okay, then on Friday next week, I went to my cousin's house in Cirebon and stayed for 3 days. Okay, so then on Friday next week, so I add a comma right here. Because okay, this is not supposed to be a capital. There's a mistype right there. Okay, because this is a dependent, so I add a comma right there. I went to my cousin's house in Cirebon and stayed there for 3 days. Okay, so basically I don't really change many, but stayed for 3 days. I changed that to stayed there for 3 days just to specify that I stayed at my cousin's house there at for 3 days. Stayed there refers to my cousin's house in Cirebon. So I think that would make the readers not confused. So that's why I need to specify that they're right there. Okay, there. I cannot repeat myself. We arrived there at 5 p.m. Then my cousin and I studied in the TIS class first, then a comma. Then after that, we ate particularly. So, okay. So, okay, why I am changing to from we right here? Where is it? We right here to I. Because we're trying to keep the subject consistent. Because on the first one, I mean the previous sentence, which you're talking about your cousin's house, right? You went to your cousin's house. You use the subject I right there, and then the next you use we right there. So we should be consistent. It's either we went to my cousin's house, or then we arrived, or I'm just going to stick with the first one, which is the I subject, and the I is a singular first person point of view. So the next sentence right here, we should use I because if we change from I to we, which is the plural form, then we should really do not want to make the readers confused. So that's why I changed that. So remember that in writing, we need to have the consistent subject. Unless we already said that, for example, my cousin and I, and then we change to we, then that would be correct. So we arrived at 5 p.m. So as if you're talking about yourself arriving at your cousin's house. And now you sit right here. Then my cousin and I studied in TA's class first. So now right here, you're already talking about your cousin, my cousin and I, and then you change the subject to we. And this is correct because you already state the we right here. It's just your cousin and you. And that's why the usage of we right here is correct. But I changed that, I think. I'm to TIS class first. So I attended TIS class first. My cousin and I attended class first before we ate pizza. So instead of saying repeating the word after that and then after again, so we should just change that to this one. So I rest 5 p.m. cousin and I attended before we ate pizza. So just saying before and after instead of after that, it sounds better and it's more fluent as well. Okay, so where were we? So that is we're after particular right here. Two, we went to the Gucci Hot Springs, which are in Seto Diafatagal district. After playing there, we went to see what was there. Then we went home at 6 p.m. and we arrived at 10 p.m. We ate. Then we played until 0 p.m. Okay, full stop. So I think this is overly specific with the time. So I don't think that's would be really necessary if you're trying to write something about talking about your school time off because we need to know what we are talking about unless you're talking about some sort of chronology, then it would be it. So I understand that you're trying to write the chronology, but I kind of cut that off because we should not be overly specific because there is some sort of inconsistencies right here. You're talking about you went to the Gucci Hot Springs and then went home at 6 p.m. And then you're talking about arriving at 10 p.m. Played until 02 p.m. This would make the readers really confused. So that's why I decided to eliminate that part of the sentence. So now the new sentence will become something like this. So saying so after saying two, we went to some like as if you're listing first and then the second one. So I'm just saying that after we ate, because you mentioned that you ate pichilele, right? So just saying that after we ate, we had a comma right there. And we went to the Gucci Hot Spring, which was located. So you're using R right here because I think you assume that springs right here using an S, but in reality, you're talking about a single place. So that should be which was located or which is located. I think the supposed one is which is located because you're stating a fact, it's not a constant, so which is located in Central Java Tagal district. So you should not use a plural because I think because I mean this is a singular. You're talking about a place, so it should be is, which is located. I'm stating a fact, so it become is Tagal district. So after playing there, we went to see what was there. So I'm just saying that Tagal district. We wandered around to see what was there after playing and went home at 6 p.m. So I'm just sort of summarize the whole passage because, well, this part right here sort of confused the reader. So I'm just thinking that it should not be necessary. Just saying that after playing, then we went to see what was there. So just saying this like this, wander around to see what was there after playing and went home at 6 p.m. Until this part right here. And then the arrive at 10 p.m. I sort of cut that part. Oops, sorry about that. In the morning, we went to the mall to shop, and then after that, we had chicken meal for lunch. After that, we went around to meet my father's relatives. After that, we went home and took a shower to that. So this is basically the whole sentence right here. Is redundant with the word after that. And I know that when I was a kid myself, back in elementary school, I used to write like that as well. So here's some tips that on how should we avoid the word after that and after that. So first of all, to avoid this kind of after that, we should not just make this as a long sentence like after that, and then we add a comma. And we tend to use after that if we are using a comma, right? So that's why we need to probably break the sentence into smaller ones and add a full stop to it. So now the my revision would be something like this. On the next day, so in the morning, so just say on the next day or in the morning, they'll be okay. So we can just keep the original one. In the morning. Okay, so as in the original one, because this is correct, comma, went to the mall to shop and chicken meal for lunch. So this is the first part right here, right? Okay, chicken meal for lunch. I mean, we went to the mall to shop and chicken meal for lunch, so that we should add a full stop right here. And then we need to make a new sentence, talk about this one. Well, you did add a full stop right here, and this is a whole new sentence, but I tried to get rid of the word after that. Then we went around to meet my father's relatives. After that, we went home, took a shower, that we ate soup, and I went home. So once again, this is sort of like okay, so this could be it that okay. It can be though. So I changed that instead of saying after that, I changed this to the word also instead of saying after that. We also got to meet my father's relatives. So right here, the time chronology is not really specific, but it does helps the reader to understand that you still meet your father's relatives. We got to meet my father's relative, and instead of saying after that, I add later right here. Then later, we took a shower, ate soup, and went home. So instead of saying after that, we can just use this to make the sentence more short. Get to meet my father's relatives, comma, after we took a shower. So said I took a shower after that and ate soup and then went home. So just said, we took a shower, ate soup, and went home. So this is a parallel sentence of the past tense, and it's way shorter than the first one. It's more concise. So this is the final revision for this segment. I'm going to share the revision for those who have submitted. This is the final revision. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing and go on to the other assignment. Okay, so give me a moment to share the other assignment. Okay, so going back to the original assignment that I first opened. So the original one right here, I'm going to read it line by line. During school breaks, I enjoy pursuing hobbies and spending quality time with my family. So once again, the first one right here, it is already correct. You added a comma right here because we are trying to define the dependent and independent clause. So it should be a comma right here. So instead of saying I find joy in pursuing hobbies, I add my right here, possessive right here. Because I think that okay, this is kind of like a really sort of necessary and unnecessary additional addition, I mean. Because trying to specify which hobbies that I like pursuing my hobbies, right? Of course, if you're doing something that you call a hobby, that would be yours and not others, right? So yeah, so hobbies right there. And having quality time with my family. So spending quality time, having quality time, technically the same. So I'm just actually giving the alternatives on how to do so. So I'm going to change to the original one after I'm spending quality time with my family. So I changed that to the original to avoid confusion because it's not wrong. I'm just changing that as synonyms. So this basically right here, I remove that word because I don't see it as necessary since You just started the whole sentence. I find joy pursuing. So basically, this is okay. Now we just use the word basically. So this is the start of the sentence right here. So just you just try to open a whole new topic, and then you said basically right here. So when you use basically, it is usually used for something that you want to summarize. So that's why I eliminate this one. I used time and I did take this one right here. I used time to visit my grandparents' house, that comma, where I love spending time in village environment. Okay, so I just realized that we should not add a comma right here. Why? Because okay, so something like this. To write this. So this is if this is a dependent clause. So we should add a comma right here. So comma and dependent clause right there. But if it is the opposite, so examples right here, we should not add a comma. So something like this. Dependent. Okay, yep. Too much. So when we are stating dependent clause first, for example, like here during school breaks, then you should add a comma because this is the dependent clause. But when we're talking about the first sentence is the independent clause. I use this time to visit my grandparents' house. We should not add a comma because you can just actually use this continuously, where I love spending time in village environment. So it's not necessary to add a comma right there. So instead of saying village circumstances, I changed that to village environment because when you're trying to describe a place, I think it is better to use the word environment instead of circumstances because circumstances is actually more like about the problems that you're facing. For example, like a problem or something that you face. So it's more like circumstances right there. So it's better to use the word environment. So when the dawn comes, comma, I enjoyed walking in the white rice field and seeing the beautiful sunrise behind the hills provide breathtaking sceneries. So I think this sentence right here is a little bit lengthy right here, but the usage of the comma is already correct. Instead of saying I enjoy it right here using a past tense, I think it's better than to say that I enjoy because it's a present, right? You're talking about something that you enjoy, which is a fact. So when you're stating a fact, I think we should not, we should not use a past tense. And when the dawn comes, this is a present. So this is a little bit inconsistent with this part of enjoyed. So I just change that to when dawn came. So this is a past tense. I walked, and yes, a comma right there. I walked in a white rice field and saw the beautiful sunrise behind the hills with breathtaking scenery. So we are talking about the past tense right here, which is something that you did in the past. And I eliminate the word enjoyed right here because I think that we should not repeat the words because you already stated that you find joy in pursuing, you find joy, and then you also said that right here find joy, and then this exam you relax. It already you already indirectly stated that you enjoyed the whole trip, basically in these two sentences. So the parallel right here is actually correct. Walking and then seeing, I changed that to past tense. So walk and saw the beautiful sunrise behind the hills. So to say of saying the hills provide breathtaking sceneries. So instead of saying provide, as if the so when you're saying provide, it is as if the sunrise actually provide the sceneries. So instead of saying provide, I changed that with the word with right here. Because you're trying to describe the sceneries, they are breathtaking. Sunrise is breathtaking, so change that with part of that. Come on, my favorite. is the morning air, which is often foggy and cold, where my bed looks like smokes that surrounds me. Okay, so a part of that, so I changed that to other than that. Because I think other than that sounds better. Why? Because you already specified one thing, which is you enjoy these looking at these sceneries, right? So and then you also said that my favorite part in this morning air. So you trying to state two things, which is the sceneries and then the morning air. So other than that sounds more fitting because we're describing something that is the other one that we're trying to describe, which is the morning air. The morning air, which is often foggy and cold, and my bed looks like smoke that surrounds me. So I didn't change anything right there. It's the same. I'm not going to discuss that further. So yes, I'm not using any kind of. I mean, I didn't change that to past tense because we're talking about the fact that you enjoyed that. So no past
Well,
tense. Okay, next sentence. I also like going on culinary hunts, trying out new food and local specialties. So yes, we have the comma right here. Okay, let me think about this for a while. I also like going on culinary hunts for got new foods and local specialties. So I guess it's all right since you're actually trying to sort of like making a list. It's like going on culinary hunts, comma, trying out new foods and local specialties. So basically, this is some of like um sentence. It's be almost kind of have the same level to it. So yeah, we can add a comma to that. I didn't make any change on that one. Okay, so we're on to the last sentence right here. These activities help me relax and maintain my healthy balance between study and personal growth. So I made a little revision, like a slight revision on this part right here. These activities help me relax and maintain, instead of saying maintain my healthy balance, I'm just saying that maintain a healthy balance between study and personal growth. You should just add another my right here because you already state that this help me relax and maintain. So basically the word me right here already part on relax and maintain. So we should not add another my right here. I mean the I subject right here. So we should not add that. This sounds already good and well. So no, I should just maintain a healthy balance. So we it doesn't sound repetitive. So if you have any questions about this revision or other things that I probably made mistake of, just let me know in the chat box. And I'm going on to the next one. There are actually three more. And if we could not finish this in this meeting, then I'm going to continue that in the next meeting. Okay, so the first sentence is an introduction. Name by saying that hi, it's me, Inda. So this is introduction. So I keep that sentence right there. Because well, there's actually certain writings that use that. It doesn't directly address to everybody and not a specific person. So that's okay, I guess. I want to tell you about my experience of spending time during school holidays. Of course, I spend more time with my family because there's the only time for us to get together. So I only made a slight revision in this part. So this time, so instead of just after you introduce yourself and then I want to tell you about my experience. So I actually add this time, comma, I want to tell you about my experience. So this sounds more as if they have a continuation, they link together. So instead of has mean that I want to tell you, then you can say this time I want to tell you about the yeah. This they kind of make the sense link with each other. I want to tell you about my experience of spending time during school holidays. And yes, the comma there. Of course, I spend more time with family because it's rare for us together as a family. So instead of saying I will spend, I change that to, of course, I spend more time because I spend right here, I'm using the past tense because we're trying to make it more specific. It is a past event, and that the past event you're talking about was during the school holidays, and now the school holidays end, and now you're all back to school. So that's the purpose of changing that to a past tense. So instead of saying rarely time, we just say it is rare. It is more efficient. It is shorter. So just saying it is rare instead of saying it's rarely time. For us together as a family. Instead of saying gather together, because basically gather and together they nearly mean the same thing. Gather means that a group of people individually in some sort of group they are together right now. So that means they're gathering. I mean, someone and group of those individuals are gathering, then they are together. So instead of saying gather together after the explanation, just saying that as together as a family because you're talking about your family right here, and then yeah, together as a family. On holidays, comma, when you specify things like this, yeah, you should add a comma. I also went to my cousin's house in Jakarta. My father and mother stayed there for several days. So now you're using a past tense, and then we also use a past tense. Good job. Now this is parallel, they are balanced. So the saying of I also went to my cousin's house in Jakarta and then called my mother to my mother stayed there for several days. This is
I
kind
want
of
to I want to ask a question.
yeah,
Uh, what's
okay.
the revision for? Is it for autocorrecting revision?
Okay, so the revision right here, so basically the first line right there, it is actually the original assignment and then the revision is something that I say when you're trying to correct. So basically this is the correction of the first one. Is that answer do I answer your question?
So the revision is actually the correct one of the sentence, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like the correction, correct.
Okay. Well, okay. I'm doing to make a paragraph.
So I actually posted this assignment last week. So this is for those who have submitted their work and the revision is the one that I'm currently discussing right now. Okay, so where were we? On holidays, I also went to my cousin's house. So right here, you're talking about you went to your cousin's house and then you had to come right here. The mother stayed there for several days. So it is as if that the word there right here, you're referring to your cousin's house in Jakarta. So since we're talking about the same place right there, so I did some revision, I mean the correction as right here. I went to my cousin's house in Jakarta with my little sister and my mom, stayed there for several days. So now the sentence sounds more clear. You're talking about that not only you who went to your cousin's house in Jakarta, but also your little sister and your mom. And you stayed there, which is referring to your cousin's house, for several days. So that's my revision. Now on to the next sentence right here. I went to Jakarta because I wanted to visit the zoo. So this sounds like a hanging sentence. It sounds that as if you trying to add something that is sort of kind of like irrelevant. Because in the first sentence right here, you're talking about how you spend more time with your family, and then you state that the reason I went to Jakarta, I mean right here, where is it? I went to Jakarta because I wanted to visit the zoo. So I actually made some revision instead of saying I want to go to Jakarta because the zoo. I just saying that the reason I went to Jakarta was because I wanted to go to the zoo. So here I think I should add the other reason I went to Jakarta was because I wanted to go to the zoo. So why is the word other here necessary? Because in the first sentence, we need to be consistent, right? When we're writing. This kind of small details we need to pay attention to it. In the first sentence, you're talking about spending more time with your family. And then if you're saying the reason I went to Jakarta because you wanted to go to the zoo, then it's not the main reason that you spend your holiday to your cousin's house and anything like that. So it should be the other reason. So that's more like an additional one. Okay, so on to the next one. In Jakarta, I went to the mall. The name of the mall is Pigias. Okay, so this is kind of lengthy. So I just shorten this to something like this. I also went to a mall called PGS. So we already know that you are in Jakarta in the meantime when you're talking about this because you already said that you went to your cousin's house in Jakarta. So the readers already know that you're in Jakarta, so you should not repeat that just to make the sentence more efficient. Just say, I also went to a mall called PGS right there. Instead of saying to the mall, and the mall's called right here, name of the mall is PGS, so it's kind of repetitive. You can just say to a mall called PGS. Where I bought snacks. Here's the next sentence, right? Yeah, I forgot to mention that I did combine the sentence right here because this sentence is way too short. And to avoid the repetition, saying in Jakarta because you already said Jakarta, and then the mall, and this is the mall. So I'm just shortening that. I went to the mall on PS, and then I bought some snacks and also had lunch there. So I'm saying the mall because you already said this right here. You went to the mall. So if you said that you bought snacks, then the readers already know that you're talking about the mall, especially you add the word there right here. It's already a clear indication that you're doing those kinds, all of those activities in the mall. So see, you can see right here where I bought snacks and had lunch and dinner. Well, I went to and bought a toy and some snacks. So I didn't I changed the word there to where I bought some snacks. So this basically states that the word where right there refers to the mall that you were going, that you went. Yeah. When my sister bought the toy, sort of instead of repeating the word the right here, yeah, I'm just saying that bought a toy since it is singular, right? Toy is singular, so we should just say bought a toy. But my okay. But my sister also bought some snack in the mall. So the saying that bought the toy but my little sister, it sounds like confusing. So I'm just going to say bought the toy and some snacks in the mall. Right there. So bought toy and some snacks. We don't have to use the word but. It's kind of unnecessary right there. So we can just use the linking word and right there. Right. Next sentence. During holidays, I don't forget to make time for God, my family and I went to church together. So it's the same right here during holidays. We have the comma there. Where's the question? So instead of saying I did not, I changed that to a past tense to did, because you're talking about during the holidays, meaning that the holidays was over, and then you're talking about the past event from the previous sentences. The readers can tell that you're talking about the past. So that's why we should just add that. So I did not forget to spare my time for God as my family and I went to church together. So did not and then spent, all of them are parallel with each other. They're all past tense. And in this original sentence right here, it doesn't sound that way because you used the word I don't forget, and then you said that you went to church. Well, it's actually can be correct right here because you're talking about something that's a fact that you won't forget to make time for God. And then that's why you went to church together and you're talking about the past event. But since we're talking a past event, I'm just trying to make the readers more clear, then we should just stick to a past tense. Okay, so the next sentence we have after church. My older sister and I usually bought snacks near the church and watched them perform singing for honey songs. Okay, right here, the version we have right here. Sort of saying after church. So I don't think that adding a chronology right there is quite necessary. So I kind of remove that word because after church it doesn't really sound specific. After church, is it after the ceremony is over or something? Don't really state that. So I think it's best to remove that. So Martis and I usually bought some snacks near the church. I watched them perform worship songs afterward. So this so I changed this Ronnie songs to worship songs because I'm trying to translate all of them. So if they're in English, then all of them supposed to be in English. Unless it is some word that we couldn't find translation or something that is unique to us. And if you did trying to make it sounds more unique by using an Indonesian word in the middle of the sentence, then you should add the italic kind of this one, or you should add a let's say that those kind of the quotation mark, yeah, quotation mark, so that the readers will know that it is um a word that's foreign to them. It's not English, it's in another language. Yeah, I changed this one. I add afterwards as a revision from after church. So it's kind of move the word after to the very back of the sentence. So that's the explanation. I still have the same chronology to it. So I hope all of you can understand the what I'm saying. My next trip is to Transmat Mall. There, my older sister and I played in the snow before entering was somewhere close to that. It wouldn't be too cold inside. So this is a rather short sentence. It's not entirely wrong, but I think it's better to combine these sentences. So let's see the revision. So our next destination was to Transmount Mall where okay. Her older sister and I played in the snow. However, before entering, we put on warm clothes so that it would not be too cold inside. So I combined the word Transmart Mall there, your destination to Transmart Mall, and then playing in the snow. As you can see, it has the same meaning. Instead of saying there might stand I played in the snow before entering. So just saying that I think it's better to say however before we enter we put on some warm clothes instead of saying but um right here I changed that right to I still played the snow was general warm and still played the snow. However, we're entering we put on warm clothes. So why did I change the word bought to put on? So because of this sentence right here, you're stating that these warm clothes was to prevent from being too cold inside. So this is why you put on warm clothes. If you're just buying the clothes, then it would not prevent the cold. So just saying put on. And then next on every plate is no I my family. So it's supposed to be my family and I, correct form. Ate Korean and hot pot. I very like the food is very delicious. So it's kind of the repetition of very. I changed that to after playing the snow. So I keep that, comma. My family and I ate Korean food and hot pot. I like the food as it is very delicious. So instead of saying I very like and then it's very delicious, I'm just keeping the word very from the word delicious right there, just to shorten it. So in the mall, so again, this is kind of a repetition. You always said that you went to Transmart, so I sort of removed this one also. I also bought Demi school equipment such as bags and pencil boxes, and also bought printed books and the books for school. So I don't really understand the context of damage right there. So I changed that to also bought some school equipment such as bags, pencil boxes, printed books, and notebooks for school. So basically just listing all of them, it's more efficient. So instead of saying and also bought. So you already stated bags, pencil boxes, and subsync and also bought. You just should just make this as a listing. Put a comma in between every word. In my holidays, mostly go to the mall to my cousin's house. This all the experience I can tell you. If there are others, but it's the same as going to the mall to my cousin's house. So I can just conclude that during the holidays, I mostly go to the mall to my cousin's house. So I actually changed most of the sentence right here. My holidays mostly involve going to the mall or to my cousin's house, so I shortened that. There's all the experience I can share, but there are more, but stories are mostly the same. So I don't think the conclusion right here is necessarily is going to believe this one, since I already made the conclusion. So it's kind of repetitive, like in the first one. You already stated that you already mostly go to multiple cousin's house, but you repeat that right here. So I supposed to remove this one right here. If I'm going to mall, my cousin's house, that's the conclusion. That's all this we can share there more, but the stories are mostly the same in holiday. So we can eliminate this one, so self revision. So this is basically all of the revision. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask. We're about to end the class. There are actually two more assignments left, but since we didn't have much time, I'm going to discuss that in the next meeting.
Uh,
Yes? Yes, do you have any questions?
can I send it now?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'm making the paragraph. I think it's 211 words.
Okay, so you should, okay, it's okay. You should actually not really have to write that long, but if you can, if you want to, then that would be all right as well.
Okay, going to finish it.
Okay, so we'll discuss that in the next meeting.
Whose essay is this, Kak Michelle? It looked very good.
Yes, it's in this
Yeah.
assignment, sir.
This is in there?
Yeah, it's in the.
Oh, it looked, I'm very proud. It looks, hopefully there's no Inda. Okay, let's call Inda here.
Yeah, in this
Inda.
here, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So congratulations, but one thing. Okay, did you use AI or Google Translate to do this?
No, because
Okay.
I already learned about past tense and I took the sentence.
Mm-hmm. So how many revision or we call it iteration, okay? When you write an essay, you cannot do it correctly right away. So how long that you have to write this essay?
I think no long time.
It is 1 hour, 2 hours, 1 day, 2 days.
Only 1 hour I can do it.
2 hours, okay. Now, if I look at this, okay, your English have reached a level that is, none of the sixth grade, okay, will be able to write this, this type of essay. Okay, what do you think, Michelle?
Yeah, I think her essay is actually really well written. It's actually better, and I only did some small revision, only some of the repetitive at the very end of the paragraph that I did some revision. Most of them are pretty much correct and well written. That's all I can say.
All right. If we look at it grammatically, the apostrophe S for possessive nouns, and I look at it, also the other vocab that Indah was used, okay, we use is tremendous, okay?
Yeah.
Now, how many of these students, okay, here we have like around 15. How many of you write or try to write something? Felicia, Cynthia, Noel,
So
okay?
there, okay, sir. So there are actually five students. They're actually Clara's and Felicia's work that I couldn't review today because there's a lack of time, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So I
So how
only
many?
review. So there are
Yeah,
five students who submitted. I already explained about Alfonso's, Honey's, and then this one is Inda's work. And there are actually two other students, Clara and Felicia, who also submitted their work, sir.
okay, good. So they are like a 7, right? There were
Um,
7 students,
five, sir.
only 5. Okay, now Cynthia, Felicia, Noel, okay,
Miss,
Farrell, okay, you guys did, and others, okay? Aaron, you did not submit, okay, any essay. What does it mean? It means during this vacation time, you are not able to fulfill, okay, the requirement of this class. Okay, now the biggest thing is you miss the opportunity. Okay, like Felicia, writing is not easy. Okay, this is basically the application of all and everything that you learn. Okay, grammar, vocabulary, okay, and sentence structure and everything. Okay, now you may not feel comfortable. Mungkin kamu nggak bisa ya menulis seperti ini. Ini indah. Kamu bisa bandingin. You can compare, okay, your ability to write and Indah. This is the example. Of course, Indah, Hani, Alfonso, that I know it, okay, they have been with TIS for 3 years, 3 tahun, okay? And I'm not surprised that they can write this good. What about Noel? Noel did not submit, right? Michelle, Noel?
He did not submit. Only five students, sir. I don't.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Noel, kamu juga tolong perhatikan. Okay, you will miss this opportunity because, okay, we never know when Kak Michelle is going to run this class because she is going to start the college in a very short time, like 2 or 3 weeks from now. Okay. Secondly, all right, I don't think that you can find in Indonesia any, okay, any, they call it private class, English class that teach you how to write. I don't think. The most that they have is grammar and maybe speaking. Okay. Now, how can you write all of this without knowing the grammatic? Okay, the grammar. Okay, so for those, okay, this week still they call it what? Pengenalan lingkungan sekolah, right? Betul nggak, Felicia? This week.
yes.
Okay, what does it mean? You still have time. Next week, itu kelas sudah mulai. What? Okay, now what? If the class is started, you have all the excuses to say, ada PR, ada ini, ada itu, and believe me, You are not going to write anything. Okay? So Harry kind of look all of this and would like to tell you this is opportunity. Okay? If you miss this one, it's very difficult for you to come back. Okay? Especially Noel. It kind of disappointed because you are the older student. Okay? Tristan, did you write essay? Kumpul essay? Tristan?
No, sir.
Kenapa? Why? Okay. Jadi sekali lagi ya, if you did not write, okay, sekarang ada berapa orang? Kamu lihat di grup ini. Di grup ini ada 15. Okay? Yang bisa tulis hanya 5. Berapa persen? 30%. Hanya 30%. Okay? 5 orang yang akan sukses dalam sekolahnya. 5 orang ini, you believe or not, Indah, Hani, and Alfonso itu mau jadi dokter. Dan mereka ikut tuh semua program TIS. Oke? Nah, jadi dari sini kelihatan. Dari sini kelihatan. Mereka yang mau jadi dokter betul-betul. Oke? Put all the time and effort. Yang mau main-main ya, itu kelihatan di sini. You cannot make it. Anda tidak akan berhasil. Oke? Anda tidak akan berhasil. Tapi masih ada waktu. Silakan berubah. Merubah. Ya. Seperti Noel. Udah SMP kamu naik. Ya kan? Malu dong sama adik-adik ini yang bisa tulis. Ya kan? Bisa ada waktu selama liburan 2 minggu. Oke? Alright. I think, Kak Michelle, I hope that you will have a successful college, at college, okay? Are you going to teach again next week?
Yes,
Michelle?
I can still teach, sir, next
Okay.
week.
So when are you leaving for Jakarta? July,
Probably around August, sir.
August. Oke. Jadi ya, sekali lagi ya, minggu depan Kak Michelle ada waktu. Kalian harus tulis. Yang belum tulis, harus kirim. Ya, dengan satu catatan. Jangan pakai Google Translate. Kedua, jangan pakai AI. Oke. Now, let me ask Alfonso.
Sorry.
Alfonso. Okay. Did you write this
Sorry.
using AI or Google Translate?
I actually, but helped by my mommy, my mother.
Okay, you write it on your own, not using Google?
No.
Okay.
Sir
Jadi listen
Harry.
at this. Kalau kamu tidak jujur dari sekarang, kamu berbohong dirimu sendiri. Karena pada saat ujian, ya, ini kan mau ujian yang nama TOEIC atau TOEFL. Kamu itu, ya, sebelum ujian itu akan diperiksa. Michelle, can you kind of tell them what happened during before you take the TOEFL test? Just a simple one. A short,
When you
yeah.
Okay, so when you're taking the TOEFL test, you were not allowed to bring any kind of things in the testing room. So you have to put all of your belongings in the locker that they provided, and then you also have to go to like a screening checking. They have this kind of metal detector and check all of your pockets and anything so that you will not bring anything inside the testing room. And you were not allowed to leave until the test is over.
Okay, so listen to that. Jangan membohongi diri sendiri. Oke, mendingan sekarang kamu tidak bisa, tapi belajar. Oke, Sitya, kamu mau jadi dokter kan? Ya, nggak gampang. It's not easy. Oke, jangan membohongi diri sendiri, karena nanti ya kamu sendiri pada saat ujian nggak bisa apa-apa. Kalau pakai Google, nggak ada gunanya. Oke, so congratulations to all. Okay, that have the opportunity. Okay, this 5 student. Oke, 3 udah mau kedokteran. Oke, ini betul-betul kelihatan ini yang mau kedokteran. Okay? Okay. With that in mind, Michelle, it's 7:06. All right. Thank you so very much for your patience. And we have, I think, teacher Ling. Okay. You may go ahead, stop the recording, Kak Michelle.
Yeah. Okay, trying to stop the recording. Okay, hold on, sir. I'm going to have to share my screen first. Stop sharing first.
Okay, this is great.